What's up, guys, and welcome to Let Me Clear My Throat. I'm your host, Mike, here to break down, continuing our breakdown with the NFC. Now we're on the NFC West division with my man Greg Rufus here, who's been a faithful guest breaking down the NFC East, South, uh,
Mhm.
the East, the
North,
South, the North,
north, mhm.
and now we're on the West, the
West
Wild
Coast,
Wild West, the NFC
West Side,
West
West Side.
division. Really excited about this NFC West division. Excited to talk about it.
Mhm.
Some really pressing questions and really good observations that I take from the NFC West. Um,
Mhm.
so we'll go ahead and get started on that. Also, if you want a preview of the AFC, go to GR Productions. Greg, you want to expound on your YouTube
Yeah.
channel?
It's for my podcast, Throw It Down Big Fella. The YouTube channel is GR Production YouTube channel. I have done all the AFC, and all I'm missing is the NFC West. I have somebody for that next for me for my episode next week. But I've done the AFC. Done the AFC. I've had some great guests. If you guys have missed the last one, I did a couple. I did one with my dad. We did the NFC East. It was very entertaining. We talked about the Jerry Jones doc as well, and also my boy Harrison Klopp. We did the NFC North. He's a Vikings fan. He's very bullish on the Vikings. We had some discussions, some very healthy discussions. But guys, go check that out. Also, I wanted to plug in, give a little promotion, a little promo, as you will. Me and Michael, we're gonna have a fantasy football show. That's gonna We're gonna do it like in the morning time. We're gonna put it on my both of ours. I put it on both our channels, and we're gonna talk about all things fantasy football: who you should bench, who you should start, the guys that broke out, the guys that disappointed you so far, waiver wire things that people you want to pick up that you should add to your team. Do it on a weekly basis every week after the NFL, each week after the NFL season, all throughout the season. And basketball, this is very much of it. We're gonna do basketball as well. So we're gonna do like a weekly episode talk about NBA, college basketball, getting all the way down to March Madness, all the way to NBA Finals. So because we love basketball, that's our thing, basketball.
Yeah,
So I couldn't think of nobody else talk basketball but you. So look forward to some good content coming out in the future, you guys.
yeah, absolutely. And with fantasy football, I'm really excited about that. Uh, I'm in three leagues, and it broadens the the span of players to talk about. I will be posting later on, actually, later today, uh, some of my draft results. So stay tuned for that. I'm not going to tell you who I have on my team, although I am ecstatic about who I have on my team. Um,
Mhm.
but I do look forward to the fantasy football matchups because it just gives us a whole lot to talk about as far as player, who to drop, who to pick up, who's overrated, who's underrated, and really it's going to be fun to talk about coach tendencies.
Yeah.
Coach tendencies. What do coaches do when they're in the red zone? Who's more, are they likely to throw? Are they likely to run? It all makes a difference. It all matters depending on who you have in the backfield, who throwing, who catching, things like that, statistics, um, things of that nature.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to the fantasy football aspect of joining with Greg, and of course basketball. There's so much we could say about just what the Grizzlies are doing or have in place so far. But we're looking forward to the preseason coming up, which isn't that far off actually.
It's not. No, it's not.
Not too far off. September, late September, October. Probably making a few posts regarding Grizzlies uh, preseason and Grizzlies basketball, and who to start, who how
Hmm.
the season's going to go, and the outlook, and just the NBA in general.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be excited about.
And,
But
and,
today
and,
the focus is on the
and definitely,
NFC. Yes,
yeah.
go ahead.
And definitely talk about, well, we're going to actually do a show called Over Under wins and wins for like the NBA Eastern Conference and Western
Oh
Conference.
yeah,
Break
yeah,
that
yeah,
down
yeah, yeah.
into
Oh yeah,
each
oh
episode. So
yeah,
that's gonna be good. That should be good. So.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's gonna be
Hmm.
that's gonna be that's this. There's a whole lot of wild takes I know, and some very very premature, wild fun takes from the
Yeah.
NBA on the NBA standpoint, with wins and losses. That's gonna be interesting.
Hmm.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun, real fun. Um, but today with the NFC West division, uh, so Greg, man, this NFC West, we got coaches. The 49ers, Shanahan, he's been to two Super Bowls. He's lost to the Chiefs and ball for them. We got the Cardinals
Hmm.
coach, Jonathan Gannon, who's a defensive coach that came from the Eagles.
Yeah,
And
former
then we
Eagle,
got
former
Mike
great.
McDonald, who is the youngest coach, defensive coach
Hmm.
from the Ravens. And we
Hmm.
got Sean McVay, who started out as the youngest coach at age 30 when starting out the Rams. And so this is the division that we're talking about. These are the coaches within
Yeah.
the NFC West division. So there is a lot of youth coaching wise. There's a lot of experience coaching wise in this division, and a lot of defense from just the coaching backgrounds within the NFC West division. So, with that said, which team's window of opportunity as it relates to just the Super Bowl, the playoff, or let's just say the playoffs? Let's not
Hmm.
even talk about the Super Bowl because we haven't even started the season yet. But just playoff view. Which team's window of opportunity would you say is opening? Which one would you say is closing?
Uh, for me, that's opening. I would say the Rams. I think even with the question of Matthew Stafford and his back, his health, they still have a bright future. They still have Puka,
Mm,
they still have Kyrie Williams, they still have a good defense. Versa the rookie guy they got. They have a team that's maybe they don't do anything this year, but like years to come, they can still that window is still there. Like even if they get a new quarterback in
yeah,
Stafford, I don't know how long Stafford got, but it's still there. That window is still
yeah.
open for the Rams.
Yeah, I think for me, I would say for me, I kind of have the opposite. I would say the Rams' window is closing only because of the Stafford.
Hmm.
Like if they had like a backup quarterback, I would feel a little bit more confident instead of like Stenson Benson. I'm
Jimmy
very
G,
nervous.
yeah, Jimmy G's
I'm
their
very
backup.
nervous. You said who?
Jimmy G's their backup. So besides
Oh,
Stinson,
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Oh, he's not that exciting.
Yeah,
Not to
no,
me, but
I know.
I mean, I'm very nervous about the back issue
Hmm.
because so much of the back determines the strength and the level you throw. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm nervous about the whole back thing. Stafford has played through so many injuries. He's a tough quarterback,
Yeah.
extremely tough. Detroit roughed him up pretty good, and he still was able to produce a Super Bowl with the Rams. Um, I think the door is for Arizona, for example, is always there if they just choose to open the door.
Hmm.
Just don't know. When they gave Kyler Murray that contract, there was a debate on his commitment. Was it going to be Call of Duty or was it going to be the playbook? And
Hmm.
so I I assume, I would now believe, he's obviously focused on the playbook, but I think Arizona, their door of opportunity is always there. It's always getting shut, by LA and San Francisco. The
Yeah.
Seahawks, to me, they're in rebuild mode and they're starting over. But
Hmm.
I wouldn't sleep on the Seahawks.
Right.
With a new voice in Mike McDonald from the Ravens,
Hmm.
and just thinking about the Ravens defense and their history of defense, I think the Seahawks and what they're doing with Milrow, I think is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And they got Donald right there. It's kind of to bridge. Uh, you know, they have good options
Hmm.
there. So I kind of like what the Seahawks are doing. I don't have them very high on my list as far as winning the division goes, but I
Right.
think the Seahawks, they're starting over and they're trying to creep into the door. And then San Francisco, they just keep getting kicked out. Uh,
Hell,
the door I
to me,
think is
yeah, yeah,
is open for them if they stay healthy.
yeah, yeah. I agree. And
Yeah,
to
so yeah,
me, why I think the Rams like window is a little because the 49ers health is more scary than the Rams to me. And also for the Rams, they added Devontae Adams
yeah, yeah, yeah,
as well. But it's like 49ers is like they can't stay healthy. Brock Purdy, if it's not Brock Purdy, it's George Kittle. If it's not George Kittle, it's Christian McCaffrey,
yeah,
et cetera, et cetera. Brandon Ayuk is missing, is gone for the first 6 weeks. Like their health is
yeah,
like the main thing why I don't trust the 49ers. But I think the window is a little bit more open for the
yeah.
Rams than it is 49ers. So we'll see.
It's like with the 49ers. I mean, you can plug in people like Jawan Jennings, for example. He's
Hmm.
hurt. You know, I mean,
Hmm.
even the wide receivers and your quote unquote replacements, not even your star players, but just the people you just throw in there, they're hurt.
Yeah.
That they along with like Detroit on the defensive side of the ball. We can say the same for the offense on the side of the ball for, yeah, I guess, and the defense really for the 49ers in a sense. But
Hmm.
um, yeah,
Ray Warner.
that's my view on the door of opportunity for the playoffs for this
Hmm.
for those teams. The
Hmm.
49ers on paper though, they do have the easiest schedule.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
do you consider this a rebuild or a retool year for the 49ers, given the schedule is somewhat manageable and easy?
Definitely retool. I mean, it's there for the taking. I mean, they have a very easy schedule. Brock Purdy, like you said, got his money. Christian McCaffrey is still, to me, top
Yeah.
two running back in the league. I would take Bijan Robinson over Christian McCaffrey. But you can argue either way. But
Mm,
I take Bijan over Christian. But Christian's still the top two running back in the league. Their receiver core outside of Brandon Ayuk, like Ricky Pearsall,
mm,
who survived that gunshot
mm.
scare last year. Now he's coming back. I mean, he could break out. He could be the guy. Nobody
Yeah.
knows. I
He
mean, he
could be
has
the
the
guy.
ability to.
He
I
might
definitely
have to
think
be.
retool. Yeah, might have to. Like with Juwan Jennings out, like, and I'm thinking about drafting them in my fantasy drafts. I got this. I got two Monday, Labor Day. I'm thinking about drafting them because who else is Brock going to throw it to? I mean, I feel like that's by default he would be toply heavy like targeted. So I definitely
Yeah.
retool. Definitely retool 49.
Yeah, I think it's I think for the 49ers it is a retool.
Hmm.
If they're the parts they have is healthy. I'm kind of surprised they didn't, and I'm not sure if they did or not, if they drafted a wide receiver. It's been a while since they drafted a receiver
Hmm.
since Crabtree. But with all their injury, with all their losses, even losing Debo to Washington, they really haven't. They've really just, I guess, just built around whoever they've had on
Hmm.
their roster. I think Pearsall they drafted him, but of course he had his incident, shooting incident that he was recovering from. But Yeah, I definitely think this is a retool year for the 49ers. And I mean, I think it's to be manageable. You have a healthy Christian McCaffrey, and then you have a healthy Kittle,
Mhm.
at least going into the season, and you have Pearsall.
Mhm.
So you have something. You got something.
Yeah.
And Juwan, I think the thought was they were going to put him on IR. Um, he was. Uh, I was going to talk about Juwan actually in my fantasy podcast because he was actually auto drafted on my team. So um, I was going to talk about him. I think he wants a new contract
Yeah.
as well.
What else is new? What else is
So
new in NFL
that's
today?
that's going to be
Yeah. What
interesting.
else is new in NFL
But yeah,
today?
I definitely think it's going to be this is a retool
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the 49ers.
Mhm.
As we said before, health has been an issue for the 49ers. Coach Shanahan's job. Is it on the line if he doesn't make the playoffs?
It shouldn't be, but I think it will be. I think like he's been to the Super Bowl twice, um, lost twice. Um, like they want the 49ers, they're hungry for a championship. I understand 49er fans. Like they're hungry for a championship. They want to take
Yeah,
the golden years that they used to have back then. So I understand like it's all or nothing for 49ers. But
yeah,
if you fire Shanahan, you gotta bring somebody that's like on the same level as him or higher. Like, and I just don't see head coaches
yeah,
that have the resume like he has. I mean, granted, he hasn't
yeah,
won, but it's like if you're gonna bring in somebody, it better be like better resume. Get somebody out of retirement, Hall of Fame coach. If you're gonna get somebody to coach this team, because it's not all Kyle Shanahan. It's like you said, injuries and stability. Why they just fold, like they're not all the way there. But I don't think
yeah.
his job should be on the
Coaching.
line, but I think it will be on the line because 49er
Yeah,
fans and presidents, they want to win. So unfortunately, it is going to be on the line for them. If they don't make the playoffs, yeah.
yeah. I think it. I think his job. I don't think his job is on the line, but if it was a different team, I think it would be. Like, I mean, the 49ers and the way that Lynch is running the organization, he
Mm-hmm.
seems like a pretty loyal guy who's willing to stick with, his guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only way they do is to change the voice. I mean, they bring in Robert Sala back on defense.
Oh, yeah.
So he has head coaching experience. And I don't know if that's the succession plan or not. If we're talking about bringing in a different voice or whatever their coaching dynamic is within the locker room. But um, I mean, I think the 49ers do make the playoffs just because of the schedule. If it were tougher, then I would say definitely I think he probably will be going. But I think the schedule is going to be so easy that he's going to make it, and I think it will be enough to bring him for him to survive this season as the head coach, and probably thereafter. Uh, yeah, that's what I think. As far as how they advance in the playoffs, I think just judging by how they're starting this season, but the not having so many weapons, doing more with less, we could say. No
Mm-hmm.
Debo, no IU, no real number one receiver
Mm-hmm.
to speak of.
Mm-hmm.
This is their opportunity, uh, and for him to show how valuable he is as a coach uh, for the start of the season. So but with the Rams, who they competing against, with the Rams looking like the favorite if Stafford is healthy, do you think the Rams are a Super Bowl team?
Uh, if Stafford is healthy, yes. Yeah, I think Stafford is the key. Stafford is the glue that holds this whole foundation together. Like if the
Yeah,
foundation, if he's not 100%. If he's hurt, if he misses like 5 games, no, the Rams are not Super Bowl
Yeah,
contenders. They are a playoff team, but they're not a Super
yeah,
Bowl without Stafford. So it depends on
yeah,
Stafford's health. I hate to be like repeating what you say verbatim, but it's true. Like without Stafford, like they are not a contender. It all depends on
yeah,
Matthew Stafford to me.
yeah. It's all on Stafford. It's all on his back, really,
Mhm.
literally.
Yes, all of that.
It's
Yeah.
all on his back for them to be Super Bowl contenders. I think I said this when we were talking about the NFC North. Um, I mean, I'm high on the Rams. I think the Rams and Green Bay are going to make the NFC Division Championship. One of them, I believe, is going to represent the NFC, and be in the Super Bowl. Um,
Unfortunately,
and I mean, I said I was high on the Rams. I liked the Rams last year. I mean, they were pretty much uh, when they played the Eagles, they were pretty much a sunny day away from advancing in that game.
if it was in LA,
You
if
know,
it was in LA,
you
you would have
right.
took the
If it
Rams.
was in LA or if it wasn't snowing, if they didn't have the inclement weather in Philly, and I'm not taking anything from Philly. Philly, they played a great game that game. They earned it. They
I
earned it.
understand, but
They won.
Saquon is the reason why. Look, we could be fair.
And
Saquon is the
they
reason why we won that game. Like,
yeah.
let's just call it
And
what
I
it
mean
is.
Saquon, yeah. I mean Saquon, whether it's snow, rain, it don't matter the weather. Saquon's gonna get his.
Right.
And if you don't stop him, then you
He's gonna
you
lose.
lost. And in the Rams, that last drive, that last drive,
Hmm.
I thought if it was under perfect conditions, perfect weather conditions,
Yeah,
they would have advanced, moved the ball, and possibly scored.
possibly.
But it is literally all on Stafford's back.
Mhm.
I think with the Super Bowl opportunity.
Do
So
you
speaking
think?
of quarter, go ahead.
Do you think about when Devontae is with them now? Do you feel like that's an upgrade
Mm.
over Cooper Cup, Devontae Adams?
Man, I really wish Cooper Cup stayed. I don't know what it was I know it was a contract dispute.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's just really hard to see Cooper not in a Ram uniform.
Hmm.
It just seemed odd to me.
It does.
Um, I think Devontae is interesting too because I ended up again. I'm just giving all my stuff away. Fantasy football. I drafted. I ended up picking him because wasn't too excited about picking him, but I don't know.
Why
If,
not?
I don't
It's
know. I don't know. I don't know, Greg. I don't know why I wasn't excited. Because maybe because of Puka, maybe because just the uncertainty of Stafford. Because if he gets hurt, then what's the point of picking Devontae?
true, but it's like outside
But
because I feel like after when you get to Devontae, like the receiver room gets kind of thin, and so it's like
yeah,
when you get to around 5 or 6, you got to get the best one that's available. And I feel like
yeah,
Devontae is still right there,
yeah,
so why
yeah,
not? I
yeah.
have a.
And I
Would you
have to
rather get
look
him
to
or Michael
see.
Pittman? Like,
I had to look to see when I drafted. I'll go into greater detail
right.
on my fantasy football episode. But
Would you draft
um,
him or Michael Pittman Jr.? You would draft Devontae over Michael
I
Pittman.
would draft Devontae.
Yeah, Devontae over Michael Pittman.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
yeah, I would draft
clarity.
Devontae. I'm just curious. I'm just curious to know. I mean, because Cooper Cup and Puka, man, that was dynamic, man. I
When
mean, that
healthy.
was
When
one
healthy.
A, one B. I mean, Devontae's a little bit older.
Hmm.
He's a little bit more seasoned. He's replacing Cooper Cup.
Hmm.
Um, I think in the red zone, I think Devontae's gonna be he's gonna be a beast. He's gonna be a
His size.
challenge.
His size
You
alone,
know,
yes. His size
I
and
mean, you
route
just throw the ball. It don't matter where the ball is. He's gonna grab it. So
right.
I should be more excited about Devontae. I don't know why I'm not, but
You can always trade him. You can always trade him at this
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah. So
I agree though.
it's we'll see. We'll see how he does. I think he'll do fine. It'll be interesting to see how Devontae does he obviously, you know, I think
Hmm. Yeah.
to um it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see how he does
Hmm.
uh, in LA. But Seattle in their quarterback situation, uh, do you believe Miro has a chance to be the future starter for the Seahawks, or do you think they stick with?
Sam
I
Darnold.
can't think of his
Sam
name.
Darnold.
His
Sam.
name, yeah,
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Um,
Do you think with Sam Darnold like for years, or is it like Mil? Do you think Milroe's like a pretty much not a career backup, but just a solid back, a solid two behind Darnold?
well, we see the tape on Sam Darnold, and Sam
Mm,
Darnold, from the Jets to the
mm,
49ers and then to Minnesota, it just
mm,
hasn't panned out. Like Minnesota last year was his breakout year. Like he was most improved, all that. It just the last two games. I understand it was not all on Sam Darnold, but those last two games we have it on tape, we have it on film. Like
yeah.
he didn't deliver. He didn't deliver, and Minnesota went home earlier than most fans expected. Now he's in Seattle. I think he's on a short leash, but if
Mm,
anything, they should train Jalen Monroe or draft another quarterback next year. But I do think Monroe will at some point start for the team. I think
mm,
Seattle might be out of contention kind of quick, and so don't get let Monroe play, see what he's got, and if he's who he says he is, like I don't want to compare him to Matt Flynn, but he could have like a Matt Flynn run in him. Like start like how they did Aaron Rodgers, like Matt Flynn and Aaron Rodgers, like he started the last few games and then Matt Flynn got a big old contract with another
mm,
team. Yeah, yeah. That could happen for Monroe too, but I think Sam Darnold is just an insurance coverage for me. Start Monroe. I think Monroe, he's got an arm, he's got mobility. I know he's Alabama quarterback, and that's like a like a
mm,
voodoo type of thing. Like Alabama quarterbacks are just not that. They're okay. They're not
mm.
extremely good. They're okay. So maybe Monroe can break that curse of Alabama quarterbacks not being the quarterbacks. So I think
Yeah,
Monroe should start though at some point.
I think Milroe he didn't show a whole lot of accuracy in Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they really just want to develop him as a passer, starting out. Because I mean, Mike McDonald coming from Baltimore, obviously Baltimore has MVP Lamar Jackson, and
Mm-hmm.
so maybe there is some correlation between Milroe and Lamar Jackson. Not saying that they are the same at all or will
Mm-hmm.
ever be Milroe will ever be Lamar Jackson. But
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Seattle believes in Milroe as a passer,
Yeah.
and and as a RPO run pass option type of guy
Mm-hmm.
that can make things happen, just like Lamar Jackson, and develops his game maybe by year 3 or 4 as a legit passer, somebody that you would respect to throwing the football. So
Mm-hmm.
I believe Milroe has a chance to be the future starter of the Seahawks, and I think as long as Darnold manages the game and doesn't lose the games for Seattle, because I think it'll be interesting now that he's not in Minnesota
Mm-hmm.
under a new coordinator, new system, new environment, new wide receivers, new everything. No DK at all. No Lockett, you know, starting fresh, pretty much no weapons. You're not throwing Justin Jefferson the football anymore. You're throwing to Jackson Smith,
Who's a
who's a
stud,
solid wide receiver.
stud, stud. I drafted
Um,
him in my draft. Yeah, I think
yeah,
he's
he's
gonna
a
be the guy.
solid, very, very solid, capable receiver. Second
Mm-hmm.
year guy. He can do it.
Hmm.
and then you put the weapons with the running ball with Kenneth Walker.
Walker,
They can do some things.
the
Future
backup Dak.
for the future,
Yeah.
it might they might be building those
Hmm.
guys as they for Milrow. So by the
Hmm.
time he's ready to take that jump, you got some studs, in your wide receiver, and then you're in your backfield. So
Yeah.
I think he could
So
definitely Milrow can be a chance to be the future starter for the Seahawks.
yeah, I mean times have really changed. Like Seattle, the Legion of Boom, like those days are gone. We understand
Yeah,
that, but they were. What happened? Like they, I saw a documentary about the Legion of Boom, and it just fell apart so
yeah.
quick. And
They
it's
just
like,
got old, They just
yeah,
got old. They just got old, and I mean it. The Legion of Boom, I think, was only going to be there as long as Carroll was there. And I
hmm,
think once Carroll left, or once he was let go, um, and the players weren't there, you
really
know.
the Super Bowl. I mean, like if we're gonna be honest, the Super Bowl,
Yeah, I
like that
mean,
kind of started it right there. Like if
but
Marshawn had
you know,
ran, it's, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was a culture thing, but
Hmm.
and I mean, running the ball, the way they ran the ball, the physical running ability that they had, and
Hmm.
having a guy like DK in there, big size. I mean, they had a lot of boom. And
Yeah.
then once injuries come and Lynch goes and Carroll goes, and it was just an impressive era, an
Hmm.
impressive season series of years, before the 49ers, started to rise, where the
Hmm.
Legion of Boom was that was that team.
Hmm.
Seattle was it coming out in NFC.
Hmm.
Um,
Maybe they
so,
can get
but
back to that. Yeah, maybe at
yeah,
some point.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think they got, and I think they have the right coach in Mike McDonald,
Yeah.
with his Baltimore background coming in to take the reins over in Seattle. As we said before, there's some really young, talented wideouts in this division. We got Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Hmm.
who, Marvin Harrison Jr. second year. We got Seattle's Jackson Smith. We got Puka Nakua. We got Devontae Adams. Cooper Kupp's in Seattle now.
Hmm.
We got Ayuk, who, um, young wide receiver, got paid and is there. Um, wanted to be traded, wanted to go to Washington. It's funny that his teammate Debo ended up being there
End up being there. Yeah.
instead of Ayuk, because it looked
Hmm.
like Ayuk was going to be traded there. At least wanted
Hmm.
to be there really bad, but worked itself out in 49ers. But with those wide receivers being the main guys, which out of those four do you think are going to have the best year?
Um.
Or out of this group of wide receivers? I'm talking about Marvin
Yeah.
Harrison Jr., Seattle's Jackson Smith, Puka, Devontae, Cooper Cup, and Ayuk. Which out of them do you think is going to have the best year?
If I was a betting man, I would bet Jackson Smith, Ajahu, JSN. I would bet him because he's the younger one. He's got more speed. Like I would go with him. But I think what everybody's going to lean towards Marvin Harrison Jr. in the hype. I mean, he had a mediocre rookie year, to say the least. Like very
Yeah,
mediocre. But Kyler Murray, if one thing I know, Kyler Murray finds you, he will look for you. He will find you and throw it to you. And so I think Marvin Harrison will have that year this year, second year. I know everybody at fantasy football is high on him, high on Marvin Harrison Jr. Um,
yeah,
I'll lean that way. I think Puka is it's all about like you said, Matthew Stafford. If it's Jimmy G throwing him the ball, I'm not so confident. Like if Stafford's throwing to him, yes, Puka without a
yeah,
doubt. But I think Marvin Harrison will have the more yards this year. I would go Marvin Harrison Jr.
yeah. I think I like Marvin Harrison Jr. It'd be interesting to see how often he gets the ball.
Hmm.
Um, well, of course, with McBride there,
True.
I'm more leaning towards Jackson Smith
Hmm.
because he's going to be the main guy. I think in Seattle, and I think Darnold's going to look to him often, early and often. I think he's going to get a lot of PPR yards, a lot of receptions, a lot of, and he's going to be their primary receiver. So I think, and I mean Puka, Devontae, they're an awesome tandem. But I think, see, Jackson Smith is going to have probably. I think he's going to have maybe the best year out of all of them.
Yeah,
I think,
I can see that.
and I think Cooper Cup is going to help because as a mentor for one, but then also as like a distraction because a lot of people are going to deviate to his side of the ball, Cooper Cup, because he's proven um, as a wide receiver, that he can get the job done. He's a good PPR guy too. But I think Jackson Smith is going to distinguish himself, and he's going to actually he's going to get in the end zone and everything. It'll be interesting to see because it's a fun wide receiver group overall. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about
Yeah,
with the wide receivers and the weapons within this division. Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
Kyler Murray, just the same as the backfield.
Hmm.
I, I this next question I have for you, Greg. Christian McCaffrey, he returns after having just an awful year last year,
Injury wise.
health wise, and he's always had health issues.
Hmm.
Uh, he's great, you know, running, catching, all around back, very elusive.
Hmm.
Um, but this year they say he's completely healthy and he's back in MVP form. Who are you picking? Saquon Barkley, or are you picking Christian McCaffrey? Who,
Good question. Good
who,
question, Michael. Good question.
who?
Good question.
And then you just mentioned Bijan Robinson,
Anderson. Yeah, right.
and I mean he's like a split between both of them.
Hmm.
So maybe we can throw him in that category as well.
Yeah.
Christian
Um,
McCaffrey, Shaquan Barkley, and the up and coming riser Bijan. Who are you picking between those three?
so for me, I've been burned by Christian McCaffrey. I was
Hmm.
burned 2 years. Well, last year I was burned by Christian McCaffrey.
I was
But I
burnt
feel
last
like
year too.
I was burned by him. But I feel like Kyle Shanahan had a lot to do with that by withholding his injury, withholding a lot of health stuff. Like it took Jordan Mason after the
Yeah,
game to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm starting for the next couple." When everybody's like, "Why didn't Kyle Shanahan say that?" But I'm not going to hold that too much against Christian McCaffrey because he is a tough guy. He doesn't talk that much. He's
he
gangster about
is
playing
very
football.
tough.
He's very tough
Yeah,
in playing football. Saquon is not going to get the carries like he did last year. So I hate to do it, but
mm,
I can take Saquon out because he's just not going to get the volume like he did last year. I think they're going to put everything on Jalen Hurts more, focus a little bit
mm,
more on Jalen Hurts this year. I think so. I could take Saquon out of it. You can take Saquon. All these three guys you mentioned. You can take them in first round, and you're not going to complain at
yeah,
all. But the overall main guy, I would take Bijan Robinson. I just
okay,
feel like to me, it's gonna be it's centered around Bijan, the Atlanta Falcons offense. Like I know Michael
yeah,
Penix, they got Drake London and Darnell Mooney, and Bijan Robinson is the key guy for this offense. He's gonna get like the boatload of carries for this team, like 400, like he's gonna get a lot of it. So I would
yeah,
take Bijan. But to answer your question about Christian McCaffrey MVP form, yes, he will be back in MVP form this year. Um, I would still favor Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson MVP 1-2, but Christian McCaffrey will be top three this year. But I would take
Yeah.
Bijan. If fantasy wise, I would take Bijan Robinson first though.
I think I think Christian McCaffrey has to be in MVP form
Hmm.
if San Francisco is going to make it to the playoffs.
Hmm.
And Christian McCaffrey and Saquon they're so good, both of them.
Hmm.
I mean, it's really hard to pick between the two. I mean, the Eagles' offensive line, the best also offensive line in the NFL. I mean,
Hmm.
imagine Christian McCaffrey on the Eagles.
Oh man.
You know, if he had the Eagles' offensive line, let's just say
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
I mean, talk about unstoppable.
Well, he
And
does.
healthier and
Yeah.
healthier. I
Yes.
think a healthier Christian McCaffrey.
But he also does have Trent Williams, one of the best offensive linemen. Like Trent
Yeah.
Williams is like he could move a brick house like by himself,
Oh,
move a house if he
yeah.
wanted to. Like Trent Williams is that
Yeah.
guy. So yeah, he has a
Yeah.
good
Trent
offensive
Williams is
line.
definitely that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would pick. I think I would go with Saquon.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
would go with Saquon because, and I don't know if he'll have a repeat year like he did. And then as
Maybe
far as like the
50.
record breaking type
Right.
of year, because
Hmm.
like you said, it may be all on Jalen Hurts or a balance
Balance. Yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
between Hurts and Saquon as far as just running the ball.
Hmm.
But I think just off of durability, I think I'm gonna go with Saquon
Yeah.
because he's shown that he's physically capable of consistently doing it. And
Hmm.
that offensive line, I think I mean, he's got it all in front of him. I don't think they're going to have I don't think the Eagles are going to have a problem running the ball.
True. True.
No, not at all. But Kyler Murray, let's talk. Let's go back to the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray is a special quarterback, unique in his style. Short, he's like 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" ish. Um, maybe 5'9" is a little bit poor. Is a poor description, but he's a short quarterback. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
short guy, but very effective.
Yep.
Very speedy, very elusive. I don't know how you can be 5'9", 5'10", and you have linemen that are like 6'6",
6'6".
6'7". How you're able to see your wide receivers and your tight ends who are of similar height, 6'4", six
Hmm.
five, and be able to place the ball where it is needed for them. I, you
Hmm.
know, I lean on college on professional coaches and players, for that insight.
Hmm.
But is he the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL? Do you feel like with his speed and elusiveness?
I think he's one of the more mobile quarterbacks in the league. Dangerous, I'm not so sure. I still feel like he needs to read the field a little bit better. His decision making is very questionable. But if he gets out of that pocket, yes. Between him,
Oh
Lamar,
yeah,
Josh,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
Jalen, like those, Jalen Daniels, like those guys, like mobile quarterbacks will get you far because defenses, they're going to blitz. They're going to come. I feel like with Kyler Murray, the way to slow down a mobile quarterback like that, don't blitz. Stay in 4-3, stay in 3-4. Like, keep people on the field, make Kyler go.
He's so
That's
low to
when
the ground.
he
I
doesn't go to the
mean,
ground. Like you say, yeah, he doesn't know how to slide. He used to play baseball. He still doesn't know how to slide like a baseball player, which is just odd and crazy. Like,
when he decides to run, he's so low to the ground. Though,
ground.
like,
Yeah.
once you got a 6'7" lineman and you're 5'9", and you decide to run the ball.
Hmm.
It's hard for defense to see you. You
Hmm.
know. and you're quick and elusive, he's a tough matchup. He's a nightmare
He is.
to
He is.
study. I mean, I'm sure he keeps defenses up at night with just his quickness and elusiveness. I think the thing with Kyler Murray is, and why I think there are some that doubt the height of Marvin Harrison and McBride,
Hmm.
or no, I'll say just Marvin Harrison. I think with McBride, he's going to get his, but I
Right.
think with Harrison is just his size and them getting him the ball down the field. I think that's what the concern is. So
Hmm.
there's like a over under on Marvin Harrison as far as how good is he really going to be. We can
Hmm.
only we can only imagine and speculate. If Kyler Murray was like 6'3",
Hmm.
6'2", if he was taller with his speed and elusiveness, he'd be MVP candidate every year. I
Mm.
mean, unreal.
I
And
agree.
I think there was one year, maybe 2 years ago, I think he was for a good stretch of games considered like a in the MVP conversation at least. He was
Hmm.
playing at a really high MVP level. I think I had him in fantasy football as my quarterback one year, and he
Hmm.
was he was pretty good. He kind of fell off. He was very streaky.
Yes.
Um,
Hmm.
but I don't know.
And he had
I think
DeAndre
he's
Hopkins.
dangerous.
Yeah, he is. But he's had some great playmakers on
You're
his
right.
team. He's had
You're right.
DeAndre Hopkins.
He
Now you
had
got Marvin
DeAndre
Harrison
Hopkins.
Jr., Trey
Yeah,
McBride, James Conner, who's no slouch either. You have weapons,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
still do not take you to the next level. One playoff appearance, like wild card appearance. That's it. Like
yeah,
I need to see more from Kyler to say that he's on that like Josh, Lamar, Jalen. Like we need to see more. To
yeah.
me, we need to see more. So
It's almost like Arizona's like Miami in the sense where they win games, and then it's like as it gets close to the end of the year, they just
mhm.
lose games
Yeah,
that they shouldn't lose, and then they have some good
true.
defensive players that show up, and then it's like all of a sudden they just go bad for some reason. And
Hmm.
that's why I say it's always, as far as the door opening and closing, it's like the door just keeps getting shut.
Right.
Either by either by the 49ers or the Rams. You
Yeah.
know, it's really all about the division. We've been talking about all the divisions. If you don't win your division, you're not making the playoffs,
Yeah.
regardless.
They added
You
two
know,
new, two the wild card teams into it. So they try to make it fun and competitive. But it's like you said, if you don't win your division, like it's gonna be tough to get to
yeah,
the playoffs. Like
yeah. I mean, if you don't if Arizona can't beat LA and they can't beat
the 49ers.
the 49ers, they're not making it.
Period.
They're not. No.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but I mean, I think Kyler Murray, he's a dangerous quarterback, dangerous mobile quarterback, and we'll see. We'll see
We'll
about
see.
the Arizona, the
Hmm.
Cardinals.
Hmm.
So when we talked about the Rams and the 49ers. They both boast a really good defense. But who do you give the edge to defensively between the 49ers and the Rams? Who has the better defense? And then, considering Robert Saleh is back with the 49ers, does
Yeah.
that give them an edge over the Rams, or what's your view take um, uh, on the defensive side?
I think yes, Robert Saleh going back is just a cheat code. He's such a great defensive mind. Him going back to 49ers and the way that the Jets handled that whole situation, how Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers is a coach killer, and how he just took and they brought Devontae Adams in for what? For them to release him and for him to do the same thing to Mike Tomlin, which is bound to happen. Like I had to put a wager on who's the first coach to get fired. Mike McDonald is the first one. I think Dolphins are about to have a really awful year. Like just they're about to tank. And the vibes are bad in Miami. But Mike Tomlin's like right behind him. Like he's just Aaron Rodgers is a coach killer. He's a culture. He's just a killer. Like, I'm not taking his politics away from it because I don't want to make this too political, but like Aaron Rodgers is just a bad cancer for any team. So we're gonna see that drama in Pittsburgh unfold all season long. But Robert Saleh is a great defensive mind. Him going back to 49ers with Kyle Shanahan and with John Lynch, that entire organization, they're a dangerous team. Outside of playing
Mm-hmm.
football, they're the most dangerous unified team in the NFL. My edge is the 49ers, and it's Fred Warner. Like, Fred Warner is a difference maker wherever he's at. It's Fred Warner. So I give the edge to the 49ers just because of Fred Warner. Plain and
Yeah.
simple.
I kind of hear the edge to the LA Rams in verse. He did
Mm-hmm.
a Jared Verse, I believe his first name, but Vert. My voice. Let me clear my throat. Hey.
Look,
Uh,
I
I
I like Verse. I just hated
uh
what he said about Philadelphia. I hated what he said about Philadelphia. It's like you
oh
never even been there, dog. Like you never been there, and you gonna sit there and say I hate
hey,
Philadelphia. All
he's a
right,
Ram.
he's a good
He's a
player. So keep it
Ram.
going.
He's a Ram, and they're an Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
He's standing in their. He's standing in their way. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you kind of want him to hate the Eagles. The Eagles are standing in his way of that prize of that
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl. Um, his. I think I gave the edge defensively uh, to the Rams. I like Verse and what he's going to be. I think he can be a defensive candidate of the year for the Rams this year, and
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to do some really big things. Did some workouts with Aaron Donald, who we know Aaron Donald has been one of the most dominant defensive players ever in the NFL. So I kind of give the edge defensive, yeah, the edge defensively to the Rams, but and I think we talked about, is this a rebuild or retool for the 49ers? I think for the defense, this is a kind of a rebuild for the defense
Mm-hmm.
for the 49ers because Robert Saleh is back. And so I think he's going to develop the guys that they have. I like already on the lineup. And they got Warner there. They're missing Greenlaw,
Yeah.
who's with Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this about Denver. I think Denver has the best defensive team in the league. They're going to have the best defensive team in the league. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I'll call it. I'll go and put my wild prediction out there. I think Denver's going to make it to the Super Bowl. I
Ooh.
do. I think Denver makes it to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to go up. It's going to go up against Buffalo, be Denver and
Okay.
Buffalo in the
Okay.
AFC Championship, and I think it'll be the Rams and Green Bay in the NFC Championship.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's so. Though those are my final four um, for
Chiefs.
the Super Bowl.
So you don't think Chiefs bad blood, like they're coming for blood type of thing, Chiefs this year? They're gonna be
Whew.
angry. Like,
I think with the Chiefs, they're they've proven us wrong time and time and time again.
yes.
And
All the time.
I don't think that their dynasty run is over, but it's getting close. Travis Kelsey, this might be his last year. Andy Reid, we don't know if this is going to be his last year or not. Is he going to retire? And I
Mm,
just think that teams have started to figure them out as far as they definitely don't want Mahomes to get the ball last. It's going to be by possession,
right.
possession by possession as it gets closer to the year, the end of the season. And that right when fantasy football gets real interesting and
Mm-hmm.
changes drastically
Mm-hmm.
towards the end of the season, where there are seems to be less possessions as the weather gets colder. I think, that's like when, and we get into the playoffs, teams have figured out the Chiefs. And I don't think I think they'll be good. They'll have weapons. I mean, they're real deep now in the wide receiver room. They
Mm-hmm.
still got a running back, still got Kelsey, they still got Spagnolia.
Xavier here, Worthy. Xavier Worthy.
They got Worthy
Mhm.
and you know
Isaiah
and
Pacheco.
Hollywood Brown and Rice and everything. They got some very, very nice weapons. But I just think Baltimore, Buffalo,
Denver.
I think they finally figured it out.
I hope
What
Buffalo's safe. I hope it's for Buffalo because Josh Allen is on the verge of being the next Steve Young. Like he needs to get a ring like immediately.
so
Like
does Lamar though. I mean, you can't
Lamar too.
be like
Right.
it's on
Right.
really on both of them. I mean,
Yes.
you
Like they
can't
were
be
mid.
MVP and
Hmm.
you got this Hall of Fame quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, yet you're the MVP year after year after year. Y'all two, it's
Hmm.
basically just y'all two,
Hmm.
Lamar and Josh battling out every year, and then you
Yes.
got Burrow in the back, or Joe Burrow in the background,
Hmm.
slinging the ball 4,500 yards a year. But their defense is garbage.
I agree.
So
Hmm.
somebody got to step up. Somebody got to win between those three. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't already achieve Hall of Fame status
Yes.
with their Super Bowl rings and Super Bowl appearances. And I
Hmm.
mean,
I,
yeah,
I I agree with you. I just think like for Kansas City, like they had a mid year and they were still right there.
yeah,
So it's like for me, it's like if you couldn't
yeah,
catch them on a mid year, what do you think they're gonna be when they're fully healthy? And now they have a lot of question marks. The Rice suspension is gonna
yeah.
probably
Six
hold them
weeks,
back
I think. Yeah,
6 games. Yeah. Isaiah Pacheco is coming back.
yeah,
Still with Andy Reid, I can't just. I know Denver has a good defense and all, but am I ready to just think that Bo Nix can like lead this team? Am I ready to go that far and jump
Whew.
that river and say that? Like, I don't know. Over
They
Mahomes,
got the right coach. I know that much. Sean Payton.
yeah, Sean Payton, he's
They
good.
definitely got the right coach. I
He's
think I
arrogant.
think Bo
Yes.
Nix is definitely capable. Just like Jaden Daniels. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Jaden
His height.
Daniels.
His height.
Jaden Daniels is capable too, but their Washington defense is old, like you said. I think last week, they're like they have like the oldest defense, or the one of the oldest teams
Mm-hmm.
in the league. So it'll be interesting to see. But I think Bo Nix and I mean Sean Payton's coaching experience. I'm not too concerned about Bo Nix.
That's fair. That's fair. I just his height though, he's like
Yeah.
what is Bo Nix like 6'3", 6'2"? What is he? I know he's
Six,
taller than
yeah,
Colin.
6'2". I
Yeah,
mean, but like Bo Nix. The thing about Bo Nix is he comes in with like so much experience.
yeah,
Like I
being
mean,
Jake.
he had the most experience in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Played all 4 years. I think. I don't think he had a fifth year, but he
Mm-hmm.
had the most experience being drafted coming out, and he had a great year last year. You know, a you know 1A, 1B, whatever you want as far as rookie of the year with Jaden Daniels.
Right.
I think he's got some wide receivers because you know Broncos at one point they really didn't have anybody reliable catching the
Mm-hmm.
ball. That's why Jerry Judy I think was traded.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I
Yeah.
don't know where Jerry Judy is. Uh, but anyway,
Cleveland. Cleveland.
I think he was
Cleveland.
traded.
Cleveland.
But like I said, they didn't have a lot of weapons. Now they got Sutton, they got some guys, they got some ballers, some
Mm-hmm.
guys, some underrated guys, and in
Mm-hmm.
in the Denver locker room, wide receiver wise. Uh, Man, I felt like we've been given like a preview of the AFC West along with the NFC West at the same time.
I've already done it. Me and my friend, we did the AFC
Yeah.
West. But if you wanted to talk about it, Nick, we can. I can
Oh,
redo what I
I
said.
mean,
You know,
it's
if you want to.
it's all good. It's all football. It's fun.
I know.
Uh,
But so who you got winning the division? You got the
who do
Rams
I have
winning.
winning the division?
Yeah.
I have the Rams. Rams winning the division. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got the Rams winning the division. The 49ers being there, and then Arizona, and
Wild
then
card.
Seattle.
Okay.
Uh,
49ers is wild card.
I don't, Arizona. I think again is like 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's really going to come down. Arizona from I think statistically, if we're talking fantasy football wise, to statistically, Kyler Murray supposedly has the easiest strength of schedule as far as quarterbacks go.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyler Murray is supposed to have a great year from a fantasy football perspective. Whether he does it or not is just don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I think the Rams, um, and then the 49ers, then the Cardinals, and then I think the
Season.
Seahawks. They're
Yeah.
gonna be up and climbing. I think the Seahawks 2 or 3 years from now, we're gonna be talking about them as a potential Super Bowl contending team.
Wow. Bold statement, Mike. I might be with you on that Seahawks 2 years now. I might be with you on that. For me, winning the division, I got the 49ers. I think their schedule is really
Okay.
easy. I
Yeah.
think like they'll be back in form health wise. I think they just need to stay healthy. I think the same thing for the Rams 49ers. They are staying healthy. This is
Yep.
the complete team to me in the division.
Yeah.
So I go 49ers win the division. Rams getting the wild card. Unfortunately, for me, I do. If I'm the Eagles, I don't want to play the Rams in the wild card game. I don't. So I would best advise my Eagles to get the number one seed and
Yeah.
not get
To
the
win
two
at
seed.
home.
Yeah, because
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand them adding a 17, but it sucks because if you get a number two seed, you still got to play. You're playing opening round. Like you're not even getting the bye week like you used to back in the day. Like that sucks, but you get to add
Yeah.
another team to the playoffs. Maybe they surprise somebody, but they have not surprised anybody. A seven seed team since the Packers beat the Cowboys. That's the only upset we've ever had in this seven seed. Add a seven team into the thing, so maybe it changes this year. I don't know, but I think 49ers win the division, and I think the Rams get a wild card. And I think the Cardinals finish third, and I think, like you said, Seattle finishes last. But the Cardinals could get. Let me put it like this: it's so difficult to judge who gets 10 wins. Like I see a lot of 9-8 teams,
Yeah.
a lot of nine and
Yeah.
eight, 8-9. I don't
Extremely
see.
deep.
Yeah, I don't.
Extremely deep
It's extremely deep.
NFC.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
like so. If whoever gets the 10 wins gets a playoff berth, I just don't know who the teams are going to get the
Yeah.
10 wins to. I don't know. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I think 10 is like going to be the magic number for
hmm
a lot of teams. And really, how they start the season is going to play a big role, in that, you win your first, we'll see who's 4-0 or
right.
4-1 or whatever the first 4 or 5 weeks of the
hmm
season that distinguishes themselves, they'll make it, in the playoffs in the long run. But I mean, the Cardinals are tricky because I mean they got Connor, who's a really
Yeah.
good running back. They
Mm-hmm.
got Marvin Harrison. They got McBride. They got some weapons.
They do. They do.
They got
Uh,
some, and they got Kyler Murray.
right,
I
right.
mean, they got some guys, man. And I mean,
We-
defensively, that's really is going to fall on. It's going
Right.
to be, how they do defensively, and can Kyler Murray deliver the ball to them? We know Kyler Murray can run, but can he make throw the ball down the field? He can run. I tell you, man, he can run. He can run a mile.
He could. He could.
Literally run a mile before throwing the ball. Before you know throwing the ball downfield.
Right.
Can
He
he
just
consistently throw the ball to Marvin Harrison? It's going to be the
he,
question, I think, for the success of the Arizona Cardinals.
I couldn't agree more. And also, just don't play Call of Duty so much, Kyler. That's my only. Don't play Call of Duty
Yeah,
so much.
yeah,
Stay in the playbook. Leads me to the question. This is a tough thing. The fantasy football stars. Like, this is a tough.
yeah,
Like, oh, this is tough. All
yeah.
right, I'm gonna go
What's your
first.
lineup within the
Ah,
NFC West?
NFC West thing. This is tough. So my quarterback. You make a great argument for Kyler Murray, but I'm gonna go Brock Purdy. Um,
Okay.
as my starter. I'm gonna go Brock. More consistent, more. He gives me more points. Like Kyler is just he's so mobile, like you said. Brock is not mobile, but I think he's that arm that he got. If he's healthy, I'm gonna lean towards Brock. I lean towards Brock
Yeah,
Purdy. My two running backs, Christian McCaffrey, that's a no brainer. But the other
hmm
one, Kenny Walker.
yeah,
I it was between him, James Conner, or Kyrie Williams. Like those are just you can't win for lose for nothing. But I give the edge to Kenny Walker over Kyrie Williams and James Conner. On three
Whew.
receivers.
Man, we
I
didn't even talk about Kyrie Williams.
Yeah,
But
that's what
go
I'm saying.
ahead,
Kyrie Williams is a stud. Like
man.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he is. He's a
Um,
really good running back. He is.
uh,
Yeah.
the three receivers I choose. I choose Marvin Harrison Jr., um, Cooper Puka, and my last one. So this is so tough. Um,
Jackson.
Jackson Smith. I say Jackson Smith,
Yeah.
but I was really thinking about the Devontae. But I say Jason. I say Jason. Keep it simple. My flex player. I say James Conner. And so people don't understand James Conner is a boring running back. I understand he doesn't have like the flash like Bijan Robinson or Saquon or Christian McCaffrey. James Conner gets you points. James Conner is elusive and he will get you the yards. Like it's ugly and it's old rugged, but James Conner to me, like he will get you the points in fantasy football. Trust me. He will
Yeah.
do that. Tight end Trey McBride.
Yeah.
The defense I chose the 49ers defense. And the kicker, I chose the Rams kicker. That's Cardi. I choose him. So
Yeah. I think I would pick the same. I would pick the same lineup. Only I would go Kyler Murray as my quarterback,
rightfully so. I know.
and because I would roll. I mean, I would roll the dice on him.
Okay.
On Kyler Murray.
If he's
Uh,
available like in the seventh or eighth round, yeah, I would take a flyer on Kyler Murray.
yeah, and I mean Kyler Murray again. He was auto picked in one of my drafts.
Mm-hmm.
As and ironically, hold on, let me find it. Kyler Murray in the auto draft was picked in the 11th round
Wow. Wow.
in auto draft.
And
Now,
Andre.
I was auto drafted. I don't know
Uh-huh.
about anybody else. Whatever happened in that draft room on Yahoo, whoever,
Mm-hmm.
mine were auto picked
Mm.
because I wasn't in that one. I didn't
Wow.
even know that draft. I didn't even know I was in that draft. But um, my other quarterback to give that one away was
Mhm.
I was picked in the second spot.
Mhm.
Apparently, I had the second spot. My
Mhm.
quarterback was Patrick Mahomes, and he
So
was
you have
drafted.
Mahomes. You have Mahomes
Yeah,
and Kyler Murray.
yeah.
Wow. All right,
And
man.
I got Pat Mahomes in the seventh round. So
Mm.
we all know Yahoo, and I'm pretty sure with every draft, but when you're
Hmm.
in the auto pick, they pick off of best available.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that is just interesting right then and there because Patrick Mahomes really hasn't had a great, for the last 2 years at least, he hasn't had great numbers.
Hmm.
I say, let me just say, last year wasn't great for him. He was not like a top 10
True.
um, quarterback. But to get Kyler Murray in the 11th round,
Hmm.
that just shows or says what the level of confidence that they have, you know, in Kyler Murray as far as
Hmm.
rankings go and his ability to run and throw the ball. But that's the only difference that I
Hmm.
have in your line. I think your fantasy for lineup for the NFC West is
Pretty good.
bulletproof.
So you agree with my
Um,
James Conner take? You agree, like flex?
yeah, I like Connor. I've had
Okay.
Connor in the past in my fantasy football lineups, and
Okay.
he's delivered. I think it was a mistake for Pittsburgh to let him go.
Hmm. Oh yeah. 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 I mean, especially now they're running back now. Pittsburgh. It's is it Waddle? No,
They
Warren.
got Warren,
Warren.
and then
Not
he drafted
Harrison
a
though.
rookie.
Yeah.
They drafted a rookie, Caleb Johnson, I
Caleb
believe.
Johnson, which he could
Um,
be. He could break out. Possibly.
yeah, the
We'll
running
see.
back rooms for probably every NFL team except Philly and
San Francisco.
49ers,
Mhm.
split backfield, share backfield,
Forgot to mention Brian Robinson Jr. is now with the 49ers.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's another interesting piece to it. What do they do on the 2 or 1 yard line? Do they still keep it to McCaffrey, or they give it to Brian Robinson Jr., who's a bigger body? Like take some
I
touchdowns
mean,
away from
he's a great insurance policy for sure in a
him.
surefire handcuff.
Yes.
If Christian McCaffrey get hurt, you can sure enough pick up Robinson and you can get similar results. Probably not passing him, catching the ball, but I mean just running the
Hmm.
ball.
Hmm.
Yeah, he can
Yeah,
definitely do it.
definitely. Well,
Yeah,
this was fun, Michael. This is
this
like I said,
was
this division
fun.
is tough. So tough.
This is a very fun division to talk about.
Hmm.
A lot of exciting players that we done brought up and discussed from the NFC West. So
Yeah.
again, man, Greg, thank you for lending your time
Hmm.
to talk about the NFC West, and we're going to continue to talk about fantasy football going forward this NFL season.
Hmm.
This is Let Me Clear My Throat and Throw It Down, Big Fella, mixed in one, working together, teaming up, talking football, and just having a good time, enjoying the games. There's a college game tonight, South Florida versus Boise State, who's ranked.
Yeah.
So look forward to
25th.
watching that game. And college football this weekend. A lot of
Who?
ranked teams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna do this Saturday with Kevin. We're gonna talk about college football. But the
yeah.
games tonight and tomorrow are gonna happen before we preview. So,
Plug it in.
any upsets you think could happen, or anything that you're looking forward to watching these first 2 games of college football season?
First week, first
Yeah.
first week.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just excited that college football is back. Man, I mean the matchups there. I know that the major talk, the main talk has been about Texas and Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
That first game,
Mm-hmm.
and so I mean, you got Arch Manning. There what's funny to me is people were so high on Arch Manning. Um, Now it's like all of a sudden the narrative's changed where some are doubting him and his ability.
Mm-hmm.
And quite honestly, last year I felt more confident and confident in Arch Manning's play than I did Ewers.
Viewers,
Like when
thank you.
Arch was throwing the ball, I thought they Texas looked better than
Yes,
Ewers did.
yes, yes.
And so with a year under that freshman year that Arch was behind Ewers,
Mm-hmm.
now he's leading the Texas. I think he's set up for success, and I think he's going to have a great year. I think Arch is.
Yeah.
And then on Ohio State, they're running their wide receiver, who's a sophomore. I can't think of his name right now, but he's an absolute beast.
Uh,
The wide receiver that they have.
Jeremiah, talking about Ohio State guy.
Jer- yeah,
Jeremiah. Yeah, him. Jeremiah. He's good. He's good.
I mean, built
Great.
like Calvin Johnson. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
solid wide receiver. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, Big Ten quarterback play has always been, less not really exciting, but it'll be interesting to see how Ohio State, the defending, college champions, how their quarterback play
Yes.
is, and their running back, even their running backs. I mean, they've had good running backs. They had some great wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Historically in the NFL, they've had some great wide receivers. Collegiate, great wide receivers. They got some receivers in high school that's coming in
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
They're gonna be great, going forward. And then I think it was LSU and Clemson.
Yep.
I think they have their game.
Saturday night.
So you're talking about uh, what's his name? Les Miles, not Les Miles.
Kelly.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chip
Brian
Kelly
Kelly. Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly.
or Brian, one of them Kellys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the pressure. They keep saying, he's 0-1. I'm like, what about the rest of the season?
Exactly. Exactly.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I mean, they
He
they
has to
they
win this
have
game. Don't.
experience.
But he has to win this game, especially against
Yeah,
Dabo. Like at Clemson, you have to win this game. Like you
that's gonna
blew
be
it
a fun
last year.
game.
It's gonna be a good game. That also the Miami and Notre Dame game Sunday. Like it's some
Yeah,
good games. It's some good games. Memphis starts their season against
against Chad.
Chattanooga. They should blow them out. I think they should go on. They should go undefeated. What are we?
I
Who am I
believe they're
kidding?
favored by 25 to 30 points,
Yeah, I think
and I mean they should, but it's going to be interesting because of the quarterback Brandon, uh,
Lewis,
Brandon
Brandon.
Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
He being the starter, and the surprise that AJ Hill is not the quarterback, the starting quarterback. But
Mm-hmm.
and I hope he doesn't transfer. I hope Hill doesn't transfer.
I hope not either.
I hope he doesn't. But that's going to be
Colorado.
interesting just to see how they play. And I mean,
Right.
this year for the Tigers football team, they bring in, I believe, say it's 70 new players.
Yeah.
So this is like a brand new Tiger football team. I mean, you bring in 70 new guys. That's a
Right.
lot of bodies, man. I
Yep.
mean, they mostly, and I think all of them, if not most of them, are transfers.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. The thing about the Tigers is defensively, I've always, can they stop somebody? Can they,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the secondary? Then no problem in the linebacker department.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but their secondary has been just,
Yeah,
you know,
especially Navy. Like what kills me when they always play Navy, they can never stop the option. It's
yeah.
simple. It's
I think
simple.
they play them early this year.
They
I
play
have to
them
look at
early.
the
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah, they do. They do. If they could just slow down that option, that's it. We'll see. But quickly, UT they play Syracuse. Life without Nico. See how that
Yeah,
goes. Um,
life without Nico.
see how that goes. And Colorado life without Shador and Travis Hunter.
Yep.
That goes.
Yep.
They play Colorado State, Georgia Tech. I'm sorry, Georgia Tech Friday night. They say this guy is good. The replacement to Shador, he's good. So we'll see what
Yeah.
Coach Prime has. We'll see.
We'll
So,
see.
but that's interesting take though. Interesting. College football, like you said, starts back up tonight, this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
I have a couple of interesting takes for
mhm,
college football. It's
mhm,
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and throw it in. This is my thing. I'll go ahead and say it.
mhm,
I think college football with the playoff, they need to have Power Five playoff and
mhm,
a non-Power Five playoff because I'm honestly sick and tired of the committee throwing this idea that a non-Power Five school is going to get in over a Power Five.
true.
What I'm saying is, I mean, the Tigers, they sit outside the top 25, right? But let's
Mhm,
just say, and we're going to watch Boise State tonight.
mhm,
Boise State, let's just say Boise State Tigers, any non-Power Five, they go undefeated. We get to the playoff,
mhm,
and are they realistically going to get in over a two-loss SEC team, a
mhm,
two-loss Big Ten team? If we get to like that 10, if we get to that 12th spot,
true.
and then there's talk about expansion. I
Mhm,
don't know. I think they should keep I think they should keep it where it is. The playoff. It doesn't need to expand anymore. I don't think. I think there should be two different. Just do it like WWE. You
mhm,
got a regular world champion. You got a SmackDown champion.
mhm,
Do a non-Power Five playoff, and you have a Power Five playoff,
mhm.
and just do it that way.
Yeah,
You know, just do it that way.
it makes sense. You make a good point, Mike.
That's just my wild take.
No, it's not a
That's my
wild take. It's actually
wild.
a good
That's my
point.
for college football. That is my wild take.
Gotcha, gotcha.
They need that. They just have two champions. FCS does it. They
Yeah.
have their own playoff and they have their own, championship and everything. They're still on ESPN.
Mm-hmm. ESPN two. Yeah, you're right.
Give them a realistic chance. I mean, because you're not going to put Memphis in. You're not. They don't play nobody.
Didn't play nobody.
And I mean, they've tried really hard to get in the Big 12, but they're not going to be let. They're not going to let them in. There's going to be fire and brimstone. I can see the commentators talking now. Memphis does not belong in the playoff. They ain't play
Joey
nobody.
Galloway, Joey Galloway, all of them. Yeah, you make right. You're
They
right.
only played Arkansas, and they were the eighth best team in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, come on.
And they'll play in the potato. They're playing like the Idaho Potato Bowl or something. So
Stop saying that non-power five schools have a chance to
they
get
don't.
in when you know good and darn well you're not going to put a non-power five school in over a SEC, Big Ten, ACC school. We know it's not going to happen. Let's
Mm-hmm.
just stop it. Let's just make it interesting. Two
True.
champions,
You're right. You're right.
and that's my take.
That's
I done
nice.
cleared my throat.
All right.
Throw it down, big fella. All
All right,
right,
man. You're right, man.
fans, y'all enjoy the weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. Like and subscribe. Um, Let me clear my throat. GR Productions.
Mhm.
Holla at your boy. Peace.
All right.